Hello, I'm Jackie Fox with the Pogo Fight Club, and this is the third part of our three-part series on the best procedures to use against the best defenders in the game. So the first one that we're going to cover is Lapras, and then we'll also cover Gyarados, and I'll also show you the best counters for Tyranitar, even though I don't actually have a Tyranitar in the area that I could easily prestige or battle against. So unfortunately there won't be video coming with that. The first defender that we're going to talk about today is Lapras, and my first suggestion for that is a little strange, and I actually didn't find it on either of the websites that I was referencing for this. Sudowoodo. Now I had seen that Amistar did really well against Lapras with its rock type moves, especially using Rock Slide. So I just recently hatched a Sudowoodo with counter Rock Slide, counter being probably the most effective move against it, and Rock Slide being another great way to deal super effective damage. Now it is going to be hitting you for super effective with anything in its move pool except for the Legacy Dragon Pulse. So it is a bit of a risky counter, but I think it works pretty well. You can also resist it with Lantern and Poliwrath as well, because water types are going to resist both water and ice, and either of these Pokemon is able to respectively exploit its weakness to fighting and its weakness to electricity while resisting all of its moves. They're very excellent counters. Now, another thing that I found on Triple Dex was that Executor was also a good counter. It's actually the same moveset that I was using against Snorlax and Blissey earlier, either Extrasensory or Confusion and Solar Beam, and it works pretty well. But Lantern was definitely a very good counter, although the Lantern that I'm using has Hydro Pump instead of Thunderbolt. So the best ways to counter a Tyranitar is simply just to use fighting type Pokemon. Both Dark and Rock type are weak to fighting types, and luckily Tyranitar doesn't have access to something like Zen Headbutt, like a lot of the other Pokemon that are weak to fighting type do, for example Blissey or Snorlax. So it's very easy to exploit this double weakness and quickly take down a Tyranitar. And finally we have Gyarados. Now Gyarados should be pretty obvious, but you can get a little bit of extra resistance by using Steel type Pokemon, since they also resist a lot of Gyarados' moves. It's also helpful to use Water type Pokemon, that's why Lantern is definitely at the top of this. It is a tanky electric type that resists Gyarados' Hydro Pump. You can see the one that I have is doing pretty well. You can also use Electrode, and I think this is actually the very best for me, personally. And then, of course, if you don't have any of those, you can always just use Jolteon. So those were the best prestigers, or some of the best prestigers all around for taking down the top Pokemon in the game. I hope you learned something. Tune in next time, and remember, the first rule of Pogo Fight Club is for you to like and subscribe so you can see more videos like this, and so I can keep making these videos for you. Another thing that you can do is drop by my Patreon page, or help support the artist that does most of the music work. All of that is going to be in the description. So, until next time, keep training, trainers.
I never wanted to say goodbye.